At long last, the national nightmare is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are in the win column for the 2025 season, going on the road and beating the New York Football Giants 22-9. A double-digit victory for your Kansas City Chiefs. So much to talk about. I am here with Matthew Lane, celebrating on a Sunday evening, almost Monday morning out on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Matty, how you feeling?
Listen, hey, we're feeling good. The Chiefs are no longer winless. They did not fall completely out of the AFC West race by falling to 0-3. They withstood the storm of the New York Giants, and I believe they have gotten their first double-digit win since the last time that they played a Russell Wilson-led football team.
Oh man, that would have been the Steelers on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
So, first since Christmas Day, 9+
huge.
months without a double digit victory. I'll tell you what, man, I the vibes were so bad in the first
Oh
half.
man,
And I don't know if the vibes were great in the second half, but they were much better than the low vibes that existed in the first half of this game. A really sluggish start for the team. Really sluggish start for the Chiefs. Some
was it
mistakes on both.
sluggish or just bad? At this point, can we really call it sluggish anymore, or is it just kind of who they are, right? Like, especially right now, like I understand that we're still, dealing with the team that doesn't have their top two receiving options, but are we sure it's still fair to call it sluggish when it just looks the same as it has for over a full season now? I mean, we can go
That's
back to
fair.
last year. Yeah, so it wasn't great to start.
Yeah, that's right. It was a bad start. That's probably a better way of putting it. The pass pro was shaky. Mahomes was uncharacteristic in some ways, just looked very inconsistent. Did not look remotely comfortable against that pass rush. Did not look remotely comfortable in the pocket. Made some. I mean, like, look, two throws at or behind the line of scrimmage, and I know Pacheco was. I mean, I'm surprised he even made the throws. If I'm being honest, that's kind of what was so surprising to me. A lot of disjointed, a lot of struggles. Defense just keeps holding water though. Like they keep continuing to to keep the Giants out of the end zone in that half. It winds up being a 9-6 start for the Kansas City Chiefs, despite a litany of errors but despite poor performance, despite a missed field goal. But the team, they figured some things out. They put two touchdown drives together in the second half. They looked good. They did some things differently in that second half, and it felt good to kind of see some life on the offensive side of the football here, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back and watch it because it did feel like coming out of half, the Chiefs not only just played a little bit better, but it did feel like something changed with the offense. And like obviously we can point to the plays where they're trying to get Tyquan Thornton downfield and say, oh, that's different. But they've been doing that all season. They've been trying to find those looks. Yeah, they took a few more of those shots. They connected on them, which is awesome. But something else just about the offense seemed a little different. It just seemed a little bit more. I don't know. They had a better idea. They played more confident. They seemed to have a more clear idea of what they were trying to do. And I think that showed up in the pass protection, Patrick Mahomes throwing, the routes. It was still a lot of quick game, but it didn't feel like the same old 2007 Philadelphia Eagles quick game playbook that we've kind of been complaining about. It did feel like they were trying to get into a few more things, a few more looks, try to attack some different areas of the field. So whatever they did, when we kind of go back and really look into it in that second half that changed it, besides simply playing better, is something that they should try to do more. I mean, that was about the most confident and comfortable I think the offense has looked all year, were those couple drives there in the second half. Until the final one where Mahomes almost threw the Giants back into the game for some reason.
They found some rhythm offensively, I think, is part of it. Like this team has just struggled to find any kind of rhythm, and I think finding some stuff in the run game, getting under center a little bit, helped. I think that was a piece of what happened, in the second half. There, they started to find a little bit rhythm. They found some unique packages, getting Rashard Smith involved a little bit, with some of the jet game and trying to create some misdirection. and found some ways, like found some ways to get the run game going a little bit there in that second half. And I think everything kind of built off of that. Like I think you just found a level of comfort. I think the Giants had more that they had to account for starting there, and you kind of started to see them kind of find some things. And one of those things that they found, like you said, Maddie, is Tyquan Thornton. 171 yards and 2 touchdowns in 3 games for the former New England Patriots, who was available to everyone, came to the Chiefs on the practice squad last season and has made a name for himself in that MVS, Justin Watson, whatever you want to call it, type role. He is he might be the Chiefs' best receiver right now, the way he has played, Maddie. Another outstanding game from him. 5 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown for Tyquan Thornton in this game against the New York Giants.
I mean, I definitely think he's playing like the Chiefs' best receiver. And like, I can understand that Juju Smith-Schuster does his own things that are relatively well, that kind of fit in with the Rashee Rice replacement role. And Hollywood Brown, is out there. And I understand why those guys maybe get more targets than Thornton does in a given game or anything like that. But in terms of who's making the biggest impact and who's probably the most important of those 3, I mean, I think Tyquan Thornton's easily the best receiver that they have going out there. And you've seen it every week now, right? And it follows almost the exact same pattern. Mahomes is going to miss one deep shot to him. Then he's going to drop or just not catch a semi-difficult catch, right? He's going to have one that's catchable, but not perfectly thrown, and he's going to drop it, and then he's going to make the next catch. And that is the pattern that Mahomes and Thornton are into right now. But what's worth noting is, despite being the only receiver on this team that can run beyond 10 yards, he's getting open, like downfield. He's getting them good looks downfield consistently. And like, I think that's going to be huge once Xavier Worthy comes back, because last year Worthy was that guy. They only had one guy that could go downfield, and that was Worthy. You get those 2 playing together, and now you actually have the ability to stretch the field. You can run combos with them where one guy's clearing it out, the other guy's cutting underneath. So I'm pretty excited for what the Chiefs are going to be able to do with Thornton and Worthy when he comes back. And it was also really nice to see them find him in the red zone, because he oddly is a pretty good slant runner in the red zone. He's not a fade guy. You're not going to go out and throw him the balls on the back pylon or anything, but he's a pretty decent like slant runner, even back with New England. It was mostly in the preseason, but they found some usage for him there. So I like what they've got going with Tyquan Thornton so far. And if it honestly wasn't for him, I don't know if we would have anything like to be excited about by this offense right now.
He broke a DB's ankles on that slant there. I mean, he's doing some good things, man. It's exciting. I'm excited because I do think, like you said, you kind of said, I think you kind of alluded to, like, I think his role continues. Like when you see the full complement of players back, like he's got opportunity, and maybe even more than a Juju, maybe even more than a Hollywood. Like it feels like his role will be something that kind of it can continue as the season goes on, right? Like I feel like that is like something that this team needs. They're going to need it all given times. They've had a similar type player, maybe not as good as like with a Justin Watson and like an MVS. Like what Tyquan Thornton has done in a small sample size. He's pacing for 970 yards right now of receiving yards. And then obviously I think that number will change. Like I don't think he's going to get close to that when it's all said and done, just because like I think the targets and stuff and some of the opportunities might go away a little bit. But I mean, he's been so huge for this team when they've needed him. And I know that results finally show up with the win. And he made a massive play to kind of ice this thing up right there, and gives the Chiefs an iconic meme holding up the one, which was also just outstanding. So yeah, I think you're right, Maddie. Like that was one of the few bright spots on the offensive side of the ball, putting 2 drives together, and then Tyquan Thornton kind of closing the deal with that and making that big play and sealing that game. That was the bright spots offensively.
Here's a fun stat. This is from Nate Tice. Mahomes' average air yards when targeting Tyquan Thornton this year, and this is worth noting because he caught a red zone touchdown, and they also had like another little like smoke route or hitch that they threw to him in this game. His average up the target is still 25 yards this year. That might have even, honestly, might have even gone up since then. Because he caught that was after the long one that he caught. So yeah, 25 yards when they're on the Watts. That's funny. I'm curious to see if the Chiefs are able to carry some of this like momentum into their next game because they did. They figured out something in the second half, and you're right. They did go under center, and it might have only been 2 or 3 runs for the entire game, but at least they're in the second half. But they gave that look out there, and then when they were trying to get the pass going after that, they were coming out of under center. They got a couple play action looks in there. They were getting the ball out quick, but still not right at the line of scrimmage. It felt like early in the game, it was a lot of we're going to try to get the ball to our playmakers and let them go pick up extra yards. And it felt like in the second half, maybe this is the easiest way to explain it, they were no longer putting guys in positions just to make plays with the ball in their hands. It was more of like, hey, we're going to try to pick up 6-7 yards at a time rather than 2 yards and then see what you can do with the ball afterwards. And I think that was a good adjustment they made because it obviously wasn't working in the first half. Whatever they were doing across the board was falling flat. So the changes they made at halftime were huge. I think that was really big for this team. And then Andy Reid, fans have been a little fed up with the way this offense has looked and what Andy Reid's been doing lately. So it was nice to see them kind of come together and overcome a bad Giants defense so far this year and kind of be able to come up with a plan to attack it in the second half.
You said it on the post-game show, and I think on the game preview edition. It's like the Giants' weaknesses on the defense aren't things that the Chiefs have proven really capable of exploiting. And their strengths are things that the Chiefs have had trouble with, right? And I think that rung true for a while, right? Like that defensive line is very good. And they were menaces again this week. You're muted, Maddie.
I was just saying Thibodeau was killing the Chiefs.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were menaces there, and like the Chiefs weren't holding up enough up front to be able to really exploit that back seven that was starting Swayze Bozeman. Like Chiefs legend Swayze Bozeman was actively getting linebacker reps for
he made some plays. Listen, he made a couple plays for them too.
He wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible out there, but I just I think they were so out of whack. They were so out of rhythm. The confidence, I think there's lack of confidence. Mahomes didn't seem comfortable. He didn't seem to be seeing things the way he wanted to. They made a couple uncharacteristic throws. This feels like forever ago. Andy and Travis were getting into it on the sidelines. Like the vibes were not strong in the first half of this game.
I went and looked it up because in the second half, NBC kept showing Kelsey on the sideline. It felt like every other play they were flashing over to Kelsey on the sideline, but he still played a ton of snaps. He still played like 75-ish, 53 to 72. So actually a little bit less than I thought, but he played. It seemed like he was playing less in the second half. And then I know they had the blow up, and I know last week the cameras kind of caught him, said he's tired of this shit or something. It's like something does seem to be a little bit off of where Travis Kelce and Andy Reid are seeing things, but it did feel like he was playing a few less snaps in the second half of this game. I'm not saying that's why things were working. Don't get me wrong. It just was something that kind of like stood out to me after him and Andy Reid had a little bit of a blow up and Andy Reid threw the shoulder into his chest.
We don't see that very often. I mean, you don't really see coaches make contact with a player like that, like ever. And like I know Travis did it the other day or last year.
Andy wasn't about to be caught lacking again. He got embarrassed last time. This time he wasn't about that. He was going first.
It's just like I'm just imagining like Sean McVay bowing up to Puka Nacua and just like laying a little shoulder into him, and it's just it's crazy to think that happened. I did just see the stat. This is from Taylor Witt. Tyquan Thornton has more career touchdowns with the Chiefs than Sky Moore does at this point.
Yeah, well,
Tyquan Thornton was taking 4 picks before Sky Moore in the 2022 draft, but
maybe that's what they always wanted.
That was always what it was gonna be. That's just a bummer. But no, big day for Tyquan Thornton, and the Chiefs desperately needed something from him. He had a massive contribution to this team, winning this game, getting out of MetLife Stadium with a win. And if you ever want to go to GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium, I'm calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEH Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with plenty more about the Chiefs' first victory of 2025 right after this.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. The Kansas City Chiefs have beat the New York Giants 22-9, a delicious road victory. Tucker Franklin was throwing some stats up there. Now Tucker Franklin is throwing himself onto the chats or onto the screen here as well. Yeah. Look, here's your stats real quick. Patrick Mahomes, 22 of 37, 224 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco leads the Chiefs, 10 carries, 45 yards. Tyquan Thornton, 5 catches, 71 yards and a touchdown, leading the charge in the pass catching department. If you are trying to find Malik Neighbors' stats on there, you're going to have a hard time doing it because the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely put the straps on Malik Neighbors and really just the New York Giants in general. Russell Wilson is terrible. It wasn't like was terrible in the game. Russell Wilson's terrible. He's cooked. He's bad. He was bad last year. He's bad this year. Yeah. He's a bad quarterback now. Yeah. He tried to pull a zone read at the age of 37.
Jackson Dart didn't even pull, and I think there was one of them he could have pulled and you would have been okay with, but Jackson Dart, it was in the game and you would have been okay if Jackson Dart pulled. The very next play, Russ is nope, I got this, guys. I'm gonna pull this one.
There goes my hero.
Pretty much, and it was slow motion like that too. Just watching him run, it was just in slow motion. It was what is happening?
In slow motion. You're right.
To his defense, he got the read to pull it, and he did it, and it did not work.
Well, why did he get the read to pull, Maddie? Why do you think? What do you think happened there?
Because George Karlaftis said, "Oh, there's no way he's going to pull this."
Why do you think he did?
And then
that?
He did. And then even George Karlaftis was able to flip them hips. You could hear him creaking from over here, but he turned them hips and was able to chase him down.
Turn that sailboat around.
That was so funny. I mean, guys, Russ was bad. Russ was bad. Tucker, what do you got, Tucker?
I'm just excited because KCSM Player of the Game's back. I mean, finally, KCSM Player of the Game is back. You guys can vote on that on Twitter. That's the thing we glossed over. Look, I know that there's a lot of things that can be negative about this game, and there's a lot of things we should be negative about in this game. But I just want to start things off by saying that I just wanted the Chiefs to win this football game, and I didn't care how they won it. And then there was a little bit there in the first half, and I was like, okay, maybe I do care about how they won this football game. Maybe I do care a little bit about how they win. But then by the end of it, look, the scoreboard, 12-point win, you'll take it.
That's a blowout for the Chiefs.
I mean, that is
It really is.
I was
That's
like,
practically
hey,
the mercy rule.
2-possession game? Holy cow. You haven't seen the Chiefs win a 2-possession game, and it feels like years. So I'll take it. I'm not going to be too upset. I'm not. Okay.
It was last year.
I'm going. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to talk out of both sides of my mouth real quick. I can do this, though.
Perfect.
I'm not upset that the Chiefs won this game. I'm actually happy that they won this football game. And there are plenty of things to be upset about this football game from. I think both things can be true at the same time. I think we're going to do our best to ride that line here, as well as I'm going to be keeping my eye on the pressers as well. Some weird stuff happened with the offensive line towards the end of that game there. And there was also some stuff on the offensive line that we probably need to talk about in terms of number 74 and what's going on over there. And does Jalen Moore suck really bad? Is that why he's out in the that's the only thing that I can think of. But there's a lot of offensive line things that we need to be looking for answers for. But overall, I just wanted to set the tone when I came in here and said, I'm not mad because they won.
Even though you got
Even though I kind of was a little mad.
Kind of mad.
I'm not mad.
You want to know something? I think I kind of experienced a similar arc as you.
Yeah, I mean,
I think everyone did.
I think I was just like, you know what? Let's just see what happens here. I think they're gonna win. I think they'll play well, but there's a little bit of me that's like, I don't know. Will they do it? And then they laid an absolute egg in the first half.
That was tough.
If they went on to win 16-9 without that final Kareem Hunt, Mr. Kareem Hunt touchdown after the Tyquan Thornton plays, you would not. I think everyone's tune would be a little different, right? We wouldn't maybe be mad, but you'd be like, I'm a little upset. I'm a little frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed in you guys right now. But they hit that final drive where they found those couple throws to Tyquan Thornton, and they're like, oh, okay, now we can build up all of our non-madness at Tyquan Thornton getting downfield again. And it's like, hey, what an explosive play fixes all, I guess.
It does.
Honestly, yes.
That's true. That's what we've been asking for forever, Matthew. That you're absolutely right. And if they hadn't got that last touchdown, we wouldn't have gotten the Tyquan Thornton meme. That will be used so much over the course.
Looks like he's saluting his tribal chief is what he's doing.
I had that one ready I was literally going to put that out there. I was like, my tribal chief was going to be one of my tweets after the show gets over.
For the third time.
You just ruined it for me.
No, you can still have it. I won't spoil it. You can still tweet it out while someone
just
on
wait
the
till he
show's
comes
talking.
back.
An aggregator will steal it now. It's okay. We're all good. Let's talk about the defense before we move into just.
Hold on. We got to do offensive line. Tucker called it out. I do think there's some offensive line stuff.
Do you want to do offensive line first? We can do offensive line first.
I think so. I think you got to finish up with the offensive stuff because, the first half was pretty bad across the board. Jawan Taylor's going to catch the majority of the flack, I think, and rightfully so.
As he
right?
should.
He was not playing. He was not playing particularly well. But I will say, I don't think Simmons played his best half of football in the first half either. And I think something about the way the Giants were rushing, which was a fair amount of twists and games, and some of the depth. The Chiefs' offense in the first half as a whole looked unconfident and uncomfortable with whatever they were doing. And I thought even the offensive tackles, their depth on their sets seemed like they were uncertain of where they needed to be. A couple times, Simmons and Taylor were undersetting, and then guys were going around them in a way that the Philadelphia Eagles, another very good pass rush last week, were not doing. So just there was something that was very uncomfortable with how they were playing in the first half. I thought in the second half, both Taylor and Simmons as tackles played a lot better. They seemed just more comfortable in what they were being asked to do. So whatever they did at halftime fixed it. I will say there was about 3 plays in the first half where the Giants were in a stunt and had Dexter Lawrence just run full speed into Josh Simmons. And 2 of the times he knocked him flat over, and Kingsley could not slow down the spike whatsoever. And that's a problem. If I'm a tackle and I'm trying to block a guy working up the arc and you let a 350-pound guy run full speed into me, we got a little bit of an issue. So I'm glad that they fixed that, or Dexter Lawrence's elbow helped that. But yeah, the offensive line I thought started out really rough. And then in the second half, they got better. I am once again asking you, Kent, when is Jalen Moore going to play right tackle? I don't think left guard's in question. I think when is Jalen Moore going to play right tackle for this team? How much more Jawan Taylor do you have to see before you are willing to go with this move?
Do you think Jalen Moore was the right move against the arc rushers of the New York Giants?
I know Jawan Taylor wasn't.
Are we sure? Are we sure that was the right move? Because I think it would have looked worse. I think it would have looked worse
Maybe.
if they tried to throw Jalen Moore out there. That
That's
was a
my
really
theory.
bad matchup for Jalen Moore. So
That's my theory. My theory is he doesn't have the foot speed to work up the arc to go as far as Patrick Mahomes clearly wants to drop, and that Juwan Taylor and Simmons are giving him. I just think it was very evident in this game that once again, Juwan Taylor, and this is not the first time this year or the second time this year, where he has had a stretch where he has not looked like a good football player.
Yeah,
and that's tough.
It's a legitimate concern. It's going to continue to be a legitimate concern. And I think we are, I think this is the final season. Juwan Taylor will be a Kansas City Chief, but they need him this year they need him. They badly need him to play at a capable level. And there was a stretch where he was not good. That's just, that you're absolutely right. And they had the graphic.
Oh, queued up. They knew it was happening.
That was so funny.
They had a shortcut to it.
A monster that they created, by the way. Let's not gloss over that fact. A monster that NBC created said, "Okay, let's keep festering this wound here. Oh, there's a little bit of a wound. It started to heal up a little bit. Let's pour some salt in it. That should definitely help get things better." Yeah, miss me with that. That's ridiculous. I don't think that
they
was
were
the most
so
egregious one that he's
disappointed.
had too.
They were so disappointed that he didn't get called for a false start later in the game as well.
Oh,
when he did clearly false start, but he wasn't called, and they were so disappointed it wasn't called. I do want to know if anybody in the chat while we're talking here hears or sees why Josh Simmons and Kingsley didn't play the final 6 snaps. Just let us know. That's really nice. It's not just the kneel down drives either. It was the drive before where they ran and threw that terrible deep shot back across the field to Hollywood. They apparently did not play in either of those drives. So I'm just curious as to why. So if anybody sees that.
Definitely worth paying attention to there, because the Chiefs cannot afford any other additional offensive line issues than they already have. Can we talk about the defense now, or is there more O-line takes that you need to get off your chest? Russ,
wait till tomorrow.
Russ stinks. He's bad. Okay.
Hang on. Speaking of Russ, I just listened to a video of Chris Jones after the game. Yeah, the reporter asked him, "Did you ask Russell Wilson for a jersey swap?" And he said, "I don't even want it." The face that the reporter. I don't know her name. That's my bad. But the face, because I just saw that tweet came across, and I was like, "There's no way that's what he actually said." But no, that is what he actually said. I don't want it.
If Russell Wilson offered a jersey swap you the shirt off your back right now,
I would probably take it, truthfully. But I'm a schmuck.
Yeah.
And a jamoke.
That Subway shirt's gonna hit different. So
I want his Danger Russ sub. I want the other half of the Danger Russ sub. Is what I want.
Everybody gotta eat.
Look, I tweeted out, I don't know if you saw this early in the game, I said somebody gotta eat after the first drive was bad, but
Maddie,
real football.
I have a question for you guys, because I'm trying to figure out, because I don't think the pass pressure still wasn't consistent or anything, but was that Russ Wilson just being bad and washed?
Yes.
Or was there any bright spot for you on the defensive side of the ball that gave you some reason to be excited moving forward? Maddie, where do you stand with this?
Listen, the past 2 weeks, I think the Chiefs have done a really good job of simplifying their coverage menu so that some of these newer guys, and especially without having Justin Reed back there to organize it, guys have not gotten lost. You have not seen near as many coverage breakdowns as you saw in week 1. Do they maybe have the best cover players across the board? And will this eventually bite them when they're having to play so much man or so much, not static zones, but a lot simpler version of their match coverage? Maybe. But when they're playing offenses like, the Philadelphia Eagles and offenses like the New York Giants, they can easily get away with stuff like this. And last week we got Spags sending the house at Jalen Hurts over and over again to great success. This week, you have the Chiefs just blatantly bracketing Malik Neighbors no matter where he's out on the field. They will have 3 players squarely over 2 wide receivers that are both outside the numbers. They didn't care. They dared them to have anybody else beat them, and obviously it worked. So, hey, hat tip. Spags is doing the Lord's work out there with what he has to work with, and this is 2 weeks in a row where I think the defense has played really well. Like I said last week, I don't know how much of this specific game plan is repeatable, when you go up against other teams and not Russell Wilson. But that's now 2 weeks in a row that they've had a little bit of a one-off game plan that has worked. So at the very least, you can believe in Spags is still, the league's best or second best defensive coordinator, and you always have that in your back pocket.
Tuck, what do you think?
I'll be honest, I was texting VJ and I wasn't paying attention.
Perfect.
Do you think that the defense showed some signs, or do you think it's just Russell Wilson is terrible?
Well, I don't think Russell Wilson was very good. I also don't think this New York Giants offensive line is very good either. So I think that especially with some pass rush things, I think that played a lot of things into it, where they had John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, as Craig likes to call, anchored things down in the middle. Dude, I've thought about that every day since Craig said that, about his name being John Jacob, because it's actually not that far away from it. It's like actually really close. But
John Michael Schmitz.
Yeah, and I think Russ underthrew a lot of those balls that led to the interception. If they play like Dak Prescott in the Cowboys, right? I think
which they did last week. Sorry. Okay,
the Chiefs
sorry,
do.
gotcha,
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Sidebar. I think
Dude.
I think the Cowboys defense is so bad because they just made the Bears look good. I'll talk about that in a little bit.
We'll find out on Thanksgiving just how bad.
No, I'll talk about that.
That's true. Everybody got to eat.
Everybody's got to eat on Thanksgiving, and thankfully, everybody got to eat. We'll be back for that game. But I do think there's some things, like if they play a quarterback that's, pretty decent, like we saw them play. Jalen Hurts doesn't really qualify into that category. Justin Herbert, a guy who can kind of throw it around a little bit, and they were able to throw it around a whole lot of it. The Chargers were against the Chiefs. Like, they're going to be playing Lamar next week. I'm curious to see how the Chiefs defense will hold up against that. I do think a lot of it in the secondary did have to do with Russ underthrowing, or just Russ general discomfort in the pocket in that offense right now. So I think it probably is a little bit more Giants based, but it is one of those things. If they can stack it with Russ playing really bad, and they can stack it with Jalen Hurts not playing very good, and if they can keep stacking that momentum, maybe they can not necessarily trick themselves into thinking that they're a really like top 5 defense, but making themselves believe that they can hang with them. I'll be curious to say, but I think any quarterback, that any like top 5 quarterback, a playoff quarterback, is going to be a problem for this Chiefs secondary.
So I think the Chiefs made Jalen Hurts play bad last week. I don't think the Chiefs made Russ play bad this week. I think Russ played bad this week.
But we all agree he played bad.
Yeah, I think I think the Chiefs were well prepared for the moon ball. They were very clearly well prepared for the moon ball.
Yeah.
And they played it well. And they came down with a couple interceptions in this game. And I think they were well prepared for what was coming. As prepared as Russ was for zero blitz, as much as they threw it at Jalen Hurts last week, I think the Chiefs were ready for the moon ball, and they played it tremendously. Yeah. And Chris Roland Wallace comes down with an interception in this game. That was big time for him. Congratulations to him on getting one of those from a deep safety alignment, by the way. I mean, that was also of note too. Like, he's a safety, he gets labeled as a safety last year on the roster, doesn't play safety once. They name him a cornerback on this year's roster, and now he's a deep safety. Love that.
Reverse psychology.
But no, I think the Chiefs were prepared for that, and they played it well. I think there's plenty of questions about, the pass rush. I think there's questions. The run defense was a lot worse this week than it was last week. The Chiefs were really good against the run, against the Eagles, but they struggled a little bit more in the run game with the run defense this week. Cam Scatterbo, 10 carries, 60 yards. Tyrone Tracy, 7 for 29. I mean, they had their struggles. They had their struggles with the run.
They played too deep. I mean, they played split safeties like 78% of the snaps. Like they said, we think that you guys are gonna not be able to run the ball all the way down the field. And hey, maybe if the Giants would have tried that more frequently, they could have, because there were some times where they were having some success moving the ball by keeping it on the ground, especially the first half. especially in the first half when Andrew Thomas was still available. I do think this game took defensively for the Chiefs took a stark turn when Andrew Thomas did have to leave because he was on a snap count. And so after that, it just felt like there was zero hope for this Giants offense. Not that they had a lot at any point in time, but once he was out, and I think Marcus Bowe took over at left tackle. And after a while, it just became, hey, George Karlaftis is going to bull rush you every single rep. And can you hold up? And the answer was no, he couldn't. It was just a bull rush over and over again. It was the perfect litmus test. And it was just yeah, you can't do this. So yeah, I mean, credit to the Chiefs. I think for figuring stuff out, I don't think the defense played poor. I just don't think they played quite as great as the 9 points. And I think some of even the advanced stats and everything are going to come out and say, because Russell Wilson was that bad and the Giants offensive line as the game went on also became that bad.
I'm seeing some stuff here from the podium. Ken, I don't know if you're seeing this,
Go for it,
this stuff as well. I did see Andy Reid says he was happy for Isaiah Pacheco to come home, putting up 4.5 yards per shot, is what he said.
That's what he was doing on that play.
Yeah,
he was trying to go home. That's why he was running backwards. He was oh my gosh, I'm back in the neighborhood. I gotta get home for dinner. It's past my bedtime, so let me run the wrong way.
Andy Reid also said they don't really have any injuries. Says Brian Cook was okay at the end of the game there.
So that would tell you the Justin Simmons concern, the Kingsley Suamataia concern about why they weren't out might be that's your indicator right there, which is good because I don't know why they. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No, it's okay. This is on Tyquan Thornton. On the deep shots, both of them back to back. Pat went to him. It was a nice job making the second one go there. He's showing some things. He's a guy that Juju spoke highly of. I mentioned Bill Belichick. He's come here and he's done nothing but work hard. I'm happy for him to get the opportunity. So that is a good sign there. Last one that I have here before I'll give it back to you, Kent. Talking about Travis Kelce. He said, I love Travis's passion, man. We need more of that. He knows when to back off the pedal and when to push it too. Sometimes I have to be the policeman. He also cautions against making too much of the sideline stuff between him and Travis Kelce as well. Incredible comp, by the way, by Andy.
I have to be the policeman.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think Belichick tried to recruit Tyquan Thornton back to North Carolina, but they said that they can't do that because Bill didn't know the rules.
Damn, they need him. They need somebody in that play for North Carolina. They suck, man.
Patrick Mahomes on the pass to Tyquan Thornton. We thought they might play at man coverage. We got a good play that we got to. I wish I got a little further and made the catch easier on him. I think the first catch, do you think that first catch was... I don't think that was I'm not mad that Tyquan Thornton didn't come down with that first deep shot. I feel like that was a pretty tough catch to try to come down. That was a full extension.
Nah, that one you got to make. I don't think that was a dive. I think that was more of he was trying to run full speed and kind of started to fall. And so it made it look a lot worse. I think that first one did. That first one is a play that if you throw that up, I'm expecting good wide receivers to come down with almost every single time.
I appreciate how willing Mahomes is to keep pushing the ball and keep firing to Tyquan. He's earned a ton of trust, and that play didn't come down with it, but the next play he goes and makes a tremendous play and all that kind of stuff. That's just what you like to see. It's we've seen in the past Mahomes be maybe just decisive and judicious about who he's going to try to give the ball to, much like Tom Brady used to. I think it's the management side of things, the ball protection side of things, who you're giving targets to, you've got to really earn them. And I think Tyquan's earning it. Tyquan's earning a ton of trust with Patrick Mahomes, which is going to bode well for this team when everyone comes back. What you got, Tuck?
I got a note on the Tyquan Thornton. This is from Scott Kasmer. He says Thornton played 28 games in New England. 3 of his top 4 games in his career are these 3 games with Kansas City.
Good player.
His 3 longest catches are in these 3 games with Kansas City as well.
He's
still,
he was a top 50 pick, and he's a good player, and he had some promise coming out of Baylor, had a great process. There's a reason that
Bailey Zappi.
Away from Bailey Zappi. He really did. And the funny thing is, he really did it because Bailey Zappi was here until
overthrew him in the first preseason game. Wide open.
So like 3 weeks ago, Bailey Zappi was still here.
It was the Grand Theft Auto meme. Oh, here we go again.
Yes.
Tyquan Thornton's younger than Rashee Rice, guys. Like,
Correct.
extend him now. Just
Okay.
little 2-year, $9 million deal.
So what? Okay, so I know that you guys talked about this already. Like, how does his role stay? Like, when they have the full complement of receiving core, like, how does he still fit into this full core, like the full receiving complement?
He can play the X. I mean, he can.
Someone's
do
got to get
exactly
cardio
what
in.
he's-
That's right. It's a good
He
point.
should do exactly what he's doing, and Hollywood Brown should see like a complete reduction. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy, when he comes back, is going to be playing with a brace and a torn labrum. So, I don't
point.
really know what all he's going to be doing, right? Like, we'll have to see what he's going to be at this point. But I do feel like, if I were calling the shots, Hollywood Brown should see a much larger dip in snaps than Tyquan Thornton can, because I get why Hollywood Brown gets targets now and why he's out there. But like, once Rice and Worthy are healthy, like, what does he do better than anybody else? What does he even do second best out of the receiving options? He's
nothing.
cooked. The injuries, and I don't mean to be mean to Hollywood Brown. He's had a lot of injuries in his career, but like, you can just tell he doesn't move the same as he used to. And then some of these passes where he's had to be not even physical, but show just any semblance of fight at the catch point, he's just like, nah, I'm good. Nah, we're good. I'm gonna get pushed around. I'm gonna let, like, at least Worthy, who's tiny and does get pushed around, we've seen him fight at the catch point to try to get to the ball or try to come back to it. Hollywood's just like, I'm okay.
I mean, that non-PI in the first possession, like, Hollywood struggles to play through contact.
Yeah.
Like, and it was probably OP, or it's probably PI or a hold or something, but like, Hollywood really didn't show it. Like, really didn't put up enough of a fight on that play. We're gonna take a break. We got plenty more to talk about this game, but we're gonna take a break. We'll be back right after this.
What's up, everybody? Benny Heiss with KCSN, betting analyst for Kansas City Sports Network. And Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. And guess what? You can get started today because new Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets once DraftKings Sportsbook launches on December 1st. You can download it now, place a $5 bet once they are live. Guys, DK Sportsbook brings everything you need to really elevate your game day. You got live in-game betting, super fast payouts, endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. And when they are live in Missouri, you're going to be betting with the Sportsbook app trusted by millions. It is safe, secure, fast money withdrawals. That's the place you want to play. So here's what you do. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code KCSN to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when DraftKings Sportsbook goes live on December 1st. That is code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Remember, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they're issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms are available at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I need everyone to start getting into the mindset of Toast Game. It's the first Toast Game of 2025 coming here, so maybe start throwing out your Toast Game suggestions in the group chat. I think we've got to empty the notebook on a couple things here before we close things up and start getting into the Toast Game. But I think we all want to talk about this. Hey, how would you feel, Maddie, if the score of this game was actually 26-9? Would you feel even better about this game, or would it change your opinion at all?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I subscribe to kickers being real part of football teams, so it doesn't really change my stance on this. However, it would be certainly nice that since apparently the NFL's decided they're going to use them. Well, I guess the Giants tried not to. But if you're
really
just
hard.
NFL decided that you're going to use them, yeah, maybe, have a very highly paid one. That some would say like the highest paid one, do his job a little bit better.
That was frustrating. Just, Butker's not been sharp this season. He's been I know like he went through some mechanical adjustments to try to whatever with the collapsed knee, like trying to modify and tweak some of his mechanics. He brought that up during training camp, but whatever is going on has not been working well because he's been pretty inconsistent to start the season. 4 points left on the board, and thankfully it didn't matter. But it very easily could have. It very easily could have mattered in this game at one point where this game was going. Glad the Chiefs were able to get those 7.789 to close out the second half, but it should have been better than that. So that was a little bit frustrating there.
Another special teams thing that frustrated me, actually. The Chiefs kickoffs. What's going on there? It felt like the Giants were having a lot more space on their returns than the Chiefs did. And some of it was like the Chiefs were returning a lot of them from like right at the goal line. And I thought Rashard Smith one time was like half in, half out, and almost like he didn't know what to do. But like it felt like the Giants were getting to the 30 before contact every time, and the Chiefs were getting hit just past the 20. I don't know if it was the location of the kicks. I don't know if it was a lack of height that Butker was getting on some of them. I know you can't take off until the ball gets caught, but I just wonder if it gave them a better chance to prepare. I don't know what it was. It felt like the Giants were doing a better job setting up returns than the Chiefs were, and that was interesting.
Another special teams note for me, Josh Williams.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you said it.
Boy, howdy. He's definitely relegated in the secondary rotation, and he has had a rough go of it to the first few weeks of the season on special teams, penalties, mistakes. That has not been pretty. So that was another thing I wanted to shout out. The other Williams in the cornerback room is he's crazy. I love it. Like he's got a crazy energy about him. Like he's wildly physical, but he's willing to hit, and like he's getting face mask penalties at the line of scrimmage. Like I think there's plenty to work on for him, but his physicality is like equally like might want to clean that up, but also very fun to watch. And so like that's just the Noel Williams experience has been something so far. I've enjoyed it, even though like I think there's gonna be some ups and downs with it. It's fun to see him be so physical out there. He's got to clean some things up, but man, I've enjoyed watching it still. Any other notebooks that you guys? Anything in the notebooks that you guys need to
lower, man.
Real quick?
There's no way to punch guys lower. Like, I don't know why he throws his hand. He's too physical as is, but like, also, why are you throwing them at the face level? Like, why are we throwing jabs?
Yeah.
Like, can we like hit the body? Like, I don't know. It's funny though. No, I think that's about. I think we got through most of it until we get a good rewatch here, unless Tucker has something else. I thought the Rashard Smith, like just using him as the jet motion man, was kind of fun, right? And like, I honestly wouldn't have been mad if the Chiefs just handed it off multiple times, just to say like, hey, this isn't a one-off. This is something that we will do consistently. If you're going to put him out there for an entire drive, essentially to just run jet motions, yeah, try one or two handoffs. What's the worst that can happen? You lose a yard, okay? That's just like Pacheco running. So like, what's the difference?
Dr. Ozzy coming in and calling Noel Williams LJ Snead 2.0.
Hope that knee stays intact.
Snead was fast though. Snead could run though. Like, you know what I mean? That's the problem with Noel. He can't run. The running.
Harrison Butker's cap hit this year is $5.2 million. I hate to break it to the chat, but Young Hoku is not coming in here and going to be any better than Harrison Butker. Sorry, chat. Sorry about that one. You maybe not say his name the way I said it, but maybe I think it's Young Wei.
It's Young Wei.
Well, the way I said it was way funnier. Michael Blair, I got to shout out to the people in the chat who brought the super chats. Michael Blair saying, "Hey, at least 74 remained consistently himself." Certainly did. Primetime Rambo, thank you for your super chat. Not trying to be negative, but I'm ready for a different offensive mind calling plays next year. Nagy Reed combination just doesn't work. Thoughts on that one, fellas?
Aren't we all?
Hey, Mike Kafka may not have a job in a few.
Come home, Mike. come home.
Neither
Michael
Mike McDaniel, Mike Kafka. Just bring in all the mics.
Just too many mics instead of too many cooks, too many mics. Michael Blair. Speaking of a mic, Matt in Hollywood is out there. Oh, Maddie and Hollywood is out there. It helps if I could read. Yeah, that's very good. Campbell Cooks, Veach, get on the phone with New Orleans for Kamara ASAP.
Like that one.
Should.
I like that one more than I like the idea of Tyreek Hill coming back. I said it.
For sure.
And
I think that's the correct answer. If you get one of those two.
I have Tyreek takes that probably aren't for today.
Yeah, probably not.
He's still good, just not as good as he once was. There we go. We can move on.
Well, I mean, he's playing with the most accurate quarterback in the league, though, too. So people forget about that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Michael Blair says Tucker's the post-game X factor. Stop it.
Always.
Stop it. We're gonna have to get you in before the first 15. We gotta get you in before the opening script, Tuck.
No, that's what happens. Is when I'm better unscripted. I'm better off the script. If I gotta follow the script, I'm no good. I gotta come in after the script.
You gotta see how the show goes before you.
Before I hop on. I gotta assess. I gotta assess and see how the vibe is. I'm just like, okay, this is my adjustment. I'm good at halftime adjustments, is what it is.
All right. Well, I am elated because we are getting to Toast Game for the first time of the 2025 season.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing going. I can't wait.
Oh, let's go. I gotta play the video.
Yeah. I am enjoying a little Ben Holiday bottled and bond bourbon today. We have the 8-year, 6-month-old single barrel pick. This one was out in the great state of Kansas, so I'm enjoying that one. I only use it for special occasions with friends and when the Chiefs win.
That's a special occasion this year.
Don't know how many more of those we're getting.
It is the most special of occasions. Tucker, why don't you give us your Toast Game?
Ooh.
Well, first, guys, I mean, look, number one, it's great to be back. It's great to be back doing the Toast Game. It's great to be back cheersing with our friends at Ben Holiday bottled and bond bourbon. I'm drinking this off the KCSN 1-barrel pick. I still got some of that before I move on. It's great to be back. And you know what? This game made me put some things into perspective. As we are watching this football game unfold, as the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to ice this game out, as Russell Wilson is driving and they are trying to put the game away and he throws the ball out of the end zone 4 straight times, the broadcast of NBC panned over to the fans of the New York Giants sitting in the stands. As I'm like, man, how did we let this happen? How did we let the Giants hang around in this football game? They showed fans of the New York Giants sitting in the stands, and I said, it could be worse. It could be worse. There was a lot of things put in perspective for me as they were showing that. But first, have to raise a glass to good health. They got out of there unscathed. Brian Cook seems to be okay. Good health is still on the table, and things could always be worse. Remember this, gentlemen. It always has to be so over before it is so back. Cheers.
Cheers.
Tastes like victory.
Boy, it's been a minute since I got one of those since they haven't won.
I know. I will say, you know how like Andy will be like, man, it's hard to win in the National Football League. You got to enjoy all of them, and we don't enjoy all of them.
Mm-mm.
I enjoyed this one. I don't even care. 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks of not winning football games.
Well,
for me to be like, oh, this is great.
2 weeks.
Losing a Super Bowl and losing every preseason game didn't also help.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Matt, who's your Toast Game?
Whew. Okay. We didn't give enough credence to this. This is what I'm going to remember the most from this game. This is a lot of stuff from this game is going to come and go. We got the Tyquan Thornton stuff we talked about, the offensive line stuff. We got a lot that we've talked about from this game. But whether it's next week whether it's the end of the year when the Chiefs hopefully win the Super Bowl again, whether it's 3 years from now when we are thinking back to this game, there's exactly one thing that is going to live in my head forever. So I think that has to get my toast game. Isaiah Pacheco doing God knows what on the football field is my toast game, because that has brought so much joy, and especially because the Chiefs won. It is going to bring me so much joy. I'm going to watch that video so often. And the best part, the absolute best part, okay, the play I'm talking about was the second fumble because Mahomes threw the ball backwards, and then Pacheco just walked away from it, and then the Giants picked it up, and then Mahomes had to go chase it down and steal it from them. This is the second time that happened, because I
Unbelievable.
explicitly goes up to Chip, Josh Simmons' guy. I don't think he was supposed to, but post Chip, he turns backwards. He turns towards their own end zone and then starts running backwards. I don't know. I think he got dizzy and forgot which direction he was facing. And turned out like he was about to run up. I think he thought he was running upfield and he was running backwards. Kent had a little bit of slander from Mahomes in this play. And no, I think he was just trying to check down, and he was already throwing the ball before he flipped his eyes. And then he realized, oh no, Pacheco is going off to go night-night or something back at his house, his childhood home. So, but
he dirted it. Like, never mind.
That's the second time that happened. The first time it happened, Isaiah Pacheco ran up to Chip Simmons' guy and chipped Josh Simmons. He took out Josh Simmons himself. So when the ball was thrown to him, he was backwards once again because he took out his own guy, essentially doing the same thing. I'm sorry. I will remember this forever. Toast game to Isaiah Pacheco for bringing joy to anybody trying to watch that play.
That's fair.
All right.
I love that Patrick Mahomes was the only Chiefs player that knew what happened too, because like he was the only Chiefs person going after the football.
Both times.
Yes, he's the only person that knew.
First time Pacheco tried to throw it to them.
Pacheco was like, dang it. He threw the ball. He just dang it.
Oh my God. That was absolutely, I'm going to remember that forever. That's something that's just going to live. I can't even fathom what happened. Twice.
That was what was like the second one. It just felt like he definitely like looked to the flat and was like, okay, my arm's already moving. What do I do?
I'm about to get hit anyway. Like, there's a rusher now in my face because the chip knocked the defensive end into my face.
The whole sequence was I don't know what you do there. I don't know what you do there, but like I don't even think like Pacheco's not even like aware that he's behind the line of scrimmage. He doesn't even know he's in New Jersey still. Like he's just
Poor
this
guy.
is the first time Toast Game has been a compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's about to be compliment lasagna here in a little bit when we start bringing up other stuff.
No, we won't.
No, that's it. That's all I want. I will not remember anything more than that. So like I had to spend some more time on that play.
That's fair.
I'll go. I really want to go Tyquan Thornton, but we've spent enough time talking about him. I'm gonna go Chris Roland Wallace and Jalen Watson for both getting interceptions in this game, making big plays, especially Chris Roland Wallace playing from a deep safety alignment and being able to make a play on that ball. I think looking at some people on the Toast game, trying to see. I think I saw some love for Bolton. Bolton had some good moments. I know he got bopped at like he missed the tackle on Scattaboo, but it was pretty great after that.
BJ in the chat says Spags for locking up Malik Neighbors. That's what BJ said that in the chat.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's
the correct one.
Good call, BJ. So just salute to everyone in the chat for throwing their names out. Appreciate y'all. And that was Toast Game with Ben Holiday.
Jalen Watson too. Yeah, just a quick one to Jalen Watson. He's acquitting himself very well as the Chiefs corner too. It's showing last year was not just a fluke. Like I know the Chiefs. I've said that I don't know how repeatable some of the stuff they're doing is, but Watson has gotten a lot of like man coverage and a lot of like opportunities, and Watson has done very well. So the last year definitely doesn't seem like a fluke. So if he's healthy, the Chiefs do at least have a 1-2 punch at corner.
Yeah. Tuck.
I got one more thing. This is the first time the Kansas City Chiefs have ever beaten the New York Giants on the road. This is the first time they've ever won in the Meadowlands against the New York Giants.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes just did something no other Kansas City Chief has been able to do.
Again.
Yeah, continues to do things that Kansas City Chiefs have not been able to do.
Some could say generational.
I did see a stat that
is he generational? I'm just kidding. I don't need to get into that. Sorry.
I did see a stat that
That Pacheco play was.
it's just so good.
I have to record another podcast after this, guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't. I'll be here all day.
Want to join that football show?
No.
Yeah. All right, we're too intense for you.
I did see that. I did see that the Chiefs hadn't scored a touchdown against the Giants on the road in 20 years.
2005, Larry Johnson, I believe was what it was. Yeah, last time they
Should
scored a touchdown in the middle.
Travis throw another pass. In
They
this game.
should have.
That
Redemption.
That would have been the real move.
Was that the Giants or the Jets?
No, it was the Giants. His pick was against the
Giants.
Giants. The Jets game that year was when Marcus Peters threw the flag into the stands. And then he came back with no socks on.
Yo, it was a no socks.
How far we've come, friends. That's why you
Holy
need to
cow.
enjoy this win, and you need to enjoy every moment of this era of Chiefs football. These are the good old days. Enjoy every single moment of it. I know I am. I'm enjoying it with friends, and that is going to do it for this episode of the KCSN post-game show. Make sure you're checking everything out going on here on KC Sports Network. Tucker and Matt Verderam are going to be on with that football show coming up soon. Make sure you're just everything we've got going on. We will be analyzing this week's game and looking forward to Chiefs Ravens next week, a massive game for the Chiefs. But thank you all so much for listening, watching, supporting. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you later.
Where was he going?